Welcome to HH28, where we unravel the secrets of self-discovery and matchmaking. We are Hugh and Heather,
two master holistic guides dedicated to helping you navigate the worlds of numerology, astrology, and personality in pursuit of meaningful connections.
Ever get the feeling like, your sun sign only tells like half the story? Like you relate to some parts of it, but then there's this whole, I don't know, it's like something's missing.
Yeah.
And that's where today's deep dive gets really interesting, I think.
Absolutely.
We're going to unpack the elements in something called modalities in astrology.
Okay.
And trust me, this isn't just about like becoming an astrology expert, memorizing a bunch of traits. It's like getting this secret decoder ring for like human behavior, yours included.
Absolutely. Most people know their sun sign, right? Like that's kind of the base level.
Right.
But when you start to understand the elements, that's when things get really interesting.
Okay.
Because then you understand the core energy that kind of drives you.
So we're talking like fire, water, air.
Fire, water, air, and earth.
It's earth. Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so let's start with fire because, I mean, who doesn't love a little drama, right?
Right.
I always pictured fire signs as being like the life of the party, always on the go.
Yeah, there's truth to that, right? Because fire has that like outward energy,
Yeah.
but it comes from somewhere. They're driven by a need to really act on their passions. It's not just about being seen, it's about making a mark on the world.
Which explains like maybe why you might find them
Yeah.
like starting new projects before finishing old ones, maybe.
Exactly. And think about how differently that fire expresses, right? So you have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius,
Right.
and Aries dives in head first.
Just goes for it.
No hesitation.
Yeah.
A Leo.
Yes.
They need that audience. They need that recognition for their boldness.
Right.
Whereas a Sagittarius is chasing after this like vision, a truth. They're compelled to uncover that. So same element, very, very different approaches.
Okay. So it's not enough to just be like, oh, they're a fire sign. You got to figure out how they direct that fire.
Yes.
That's fascinating. So on the flip side, you have water signs. And I'm a little terrified to ask this, but is it all tears and drama with these folks?
I mean, listen, there's definitely an emotional depth there that can be very intense. But it's also what makes them incredibly intuitive. Cancers, Scorpios, Pisces.
Yeah, okay.
They're not just reacting to what's on the surface. They're picking up on those unspoken emotions, the undercurrents.
Right, that other people might not, yeah.
Exactly.
Which is probably why they can be so, I don't know, perceptive. Even if it's like a little too much sometimes.
Exactly. And just like with the fire signs, how they express that water element really, really varies. A Cancer's nurturing instinct comes from that same depth as a Scorpio's intensity.
Oh, wow.
But they manifest so differently.
Okay. This is starting making more sense than just like reading those generic descriptions. So fire's about outward action, water's this, like internal depth. Where does that leave air signs?
Air signs, think of them as the connectors of the zodiac.
Yeah.
They thrive on ideas, communication, Geminis, Libras, Aquarius.
Okay.
They are making sense of the world through dialogue and exchange.
So they're like the ones who can talk your ear off about philosophy 1 minute and then like be the life of the party the next.
Precisely. Yeah, that's the air element.
Wow.
It's about making connections, whether it's through, debate, witty banter, or even just observing, analyzing social dynamics.
But again, each sign has its own like special way of expressing that air energy, right?
Oh, absolutely. A Libra, for example, seeks harmony through their communication. They're the diplomats, always trying to find that common ground.
I see.
Whereas an Aquarius,
Yeah.
they express that air energy through innovation, through challenging the status quo. They're the revolutionaries, using their words, their ideas to, disrupt and inspire.
Oh, interesting. Okay, last but not least, we've got the earth signs.
Yes.
And I have to admit, I always thought of earth signs as being a bit boring.
Right.
Practical, grounded, predictable. Like, where's the fun in that?
Well, I mean, everyone needs a little stability in their life. And that's where the earth signs really shine. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, they're the ones who bring us back down to earth, literally.
Right.
But don't mistake that practicality for a lack of depth, because their connection to the tangible, to the senses, is actually what allows them to create and appreciate beauty in a way that other signs can't.
So it's less about them like being boring and more about me, like not appreciating their superpowers.
Exactly.
Okay.
And again, just like the other elements, each earth sign has its own way of grounding that energy.
Cool.
A Taurus finds joy in the physical world, good food, nature, sensual experiences, whereas a Virgo seeks perfection through action, creating order and efficiency.
Oh, so when I see my Virgo friend, like, meticulously organizing their spice rack,
Yes.
I should be in awe of their earth magic, not, like, making fun of them.
Precisely. It's all about understanding the why behind the what.
This is blowing my mind. Okay. We've covered so much ground already, but we're just getting started. All right, so we've got these 4 elements, these like core vibes.
Yes.
But then there's another layer, the modalities,
Right.
cardinal, fixed, and mutable. I gotta be honest, it sounds a little intimidating.
Right.
Like something you'd learn in, I don't know, like advanced potion making class or something.
Well, in a way it is. It's like understanding the formula.
Okay.
So if the elements are the what of your personality, the fire, the water, the air, the modalities or how they describe your approach to life, how you express that elemental energy.
Okay, so less about the ingredients and more about, like, the recipe. I'm with you.
Yeah.
So let's start with cardinal signs.
Okay.
I've heard that, like, they're the go-getters, like the leaders of the zodiac.
Yeah.
Is that accurate, or is that, like, a little bit of an oversimplification?
I mean, there's definitely an initiating energy there.
Think of it less about being bossy and more about being, like, a catalyst. Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, they're the ones that get the ball rolling. New relationship, a creative project, or even just a Tuesday afternoon.
Oh, wow.
Like, they're just ready to go.
So that friend who's always like dragging you to new restaurants, even if you just want to order pizza, that's like cardinal energy at work.
Exactly. It's that spark of let's do this,
Right,
whatever
yeah.
this may be.
I like it.
And because each cardinal sign is also driven by their element, that initiation looks different every time. So a Cancer, for example, might initiate through, like, deep emotional connection, whereas a Capricorn might channel that cardinal drive into, like, long-term goals and ambitions.
That makes sense. Okay.
Yeah.
But that also sounds kind of exhausting.
It can be.
Like always needing to be like on, starting new things.
Yeah.
Are cardinal signs just like perpetually restless?
Well, there can be a downside to all that initiating energy.
Yeah. Because they're so focused on the start, on making things happen, they can really struggle with patience.
Oh, so waiting for things to unfold is not their strong suit.
Not at all, no.
You're telling me, okay,
Right.
moving on to fixed signs.
Okay.
Does the name mean what I think it means?
Maybe.
Like stubborn, set in their ways.
I mean, there's definitely a steadiness to fixed signs that can be mistaken for rigidity, yes.
Okay.
But it's more about providing a solid foundation.
Okay.
Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, they value things like loyalty, commitment, seeing things through.
Okay, so maybe fixed isn't the right word.
Right.
More like reliable.
There you go.
The friends who always have your back no matter what.
Exactly. They're the ones you call in a crisis.
Right.
The ones who always stay true to their word.
I see.
And you're right. There's 2 sides to every coin. That same steadfastness can make them very resistant to change.
Oh,
They like routine, they like predictability, and if you try and push them outside of their comfort zone, good luck.
so if you need someone to, like, go on a spontaneous backpacking trip across Southeast Asia,
Yes.
maybe don't ask your fixed sign friend.
Probably not. No.
Unless, like, it's meticulously planned months in advance.
Right. Exactly. With every detail accounted for.
Yes. Okay.
Then you might be able to entice them.
Oh, that's great. Okay.
Yeah.
Last but not least, we have mutable signs.
Yes.
Are we talking like super flexible, go with the flow types?
You could say that, yeah. Mutable signs are like the chameleons of the zodiac. Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, Pisces, they adapt to their surroundings, they embrace change, they thrive in the in-between spaces.
So are they just like agreeable people pleasers with like no strong opinions?
Not at all. It's not about being fake or lacking conviction.
Yeah,
It's about being able to see things from multiple perspectives.
I see.
Mutable signs are very process-oriented. They're comfortable with ambiguity.
Okay.
And that makes them incredibly adaptable.
Interesting. So while like a fixed sign is digging in their heels, a mutable sign is already figuring out how to like navigate the new landscape.
Precisely. They're not afraid of the unknown. They find it exhilarating, which can make them incredible problem solvers, great communicators,
Okay.
able to like bridge gaps and find common ground where others would struggle.
I'm starting to see how these modalities add such a like fascinating layer.
Understanding those modalities in yourself and others, that can be a game changer.
Right.
In how you navigate your relationships, your work, even your own personal growth.
All right, I am officially hooked. But before we go any further, let's take like a quick recap for our listeners.
Okay.
And then we'll dive into how these elements and modalities actually work together.
Yes.
To create like a truly unique astrological blueprint. So we've got these 4 elements: fire, water, air, and earth. And they're like the base colors.
The base colors in your like astrological personality palette.
Yes, I love that. Okay.
Yeah.
And then the modalities: cardinal, fixed, mutable. Those are like, what, adding the brush strokes?
Yeah, they're determining how those colors are applied, the style of the painting.
I love that analogy. So it's not enough to just know what you're drawn to.
Right.
It's about how you approach those things.
Exactly.
But this is where my brain starts to short circuit a little bit. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
Because it's like we've got 12 signs, we've got 4 elements, we've got 3 modalities.
Right.
How does it all come together in a way that like makes sense?
Well, that's where the real fun begins. It's the combo of element and modality that creates this like unique signature for each sign. And knowing someone's sun sign is just like the tippy top of the iceberg.
Right.
It's just the beginning.
Okay, so walk me through it. Let's say someone's a Virgo.
Okay.
That's earth sign, right?
Earth sign, yes.
And we talked about their like love of organization, their groundedness.
Yes, exactly. But a Virgo is also a mutable earth sign.
Okay.
So it's not just about creating order for order's sake. It's about adapting their approach to find, the most efficient, practical solution in any given situation.
Which explains why my Virgo friend can go from like planning a spreadsheet for our trip to like flawlessly navigating like a foreign bus schedule.
Right.
All while like keeping everyone calm.
They're on it.
Like it's incredible.
Totally. That's that mutable influence coming through. Yeah.
This is blowing my mind.
Right.
So it's like the element gives you the overall vibe, but then the modality is like the secret sauce, like the nuance that makes each sign tick.
Yeah, and understanding those nuances can completely change how you interact with people too.
Oh, okay.
Right. So for example, you might assume that a Scorpio and a Pisces would always get along.
Right, because they're both water signs.
Right, water seeks water, right.
Yeah.
But a Scorpio is fixed water, whereas a Pisces is mutable water.
Okay.
So while they share that emotional depth, a Scorpio expresses it with a lot more intensity.
Right.
And an almost like possessive need for control.
Oh, I see. And a Pisces is more go with the flow, adapting to like the emotional currents around them.
Exactly. So instead of like this calm understanding,
right,
you might actually get like a clash of needs.
Oh, wow.
A feeling of being stifled on one side.
Okay. Yeah, so that astrological like mismatch suddenly makes a lot more sense when you factor in the modalities.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm officially sold.
Good.
This is way more insightful than just reading those like generic, Scorpios are passionate, Virgos are organized.
There's so much more to it.
Okay, yeah.
It's just the beginning.
So for our listeners who are like itching to dive deeper after this,
yes,
what would you recommend as like a next step?
Getting your natal chart done is a great starting point.
Okay.
It maps out the exact position of the planets at the moment you were born.
Oh, wow.
Which gives you this like personalized snapshot of your own elemental and modal makeup.
So it's like a cosmic personality profile, basically.
Yes. It can reveal so much about your strengths, your challenges, even your compatibility with others.
This has been incredible.
It's really fascinating stuff.
I feel like I've like unlocked a secret level of understanding human nature or something.
Yeah, and this is, remember, just scratching the surface.
Right. So knowing your element and your modality is cool, but like the real magic is seeing how they like uniquely combine.
Yes. In you. Exactly.
To create like your one-of-a-kind cosmic cocktail.
Beautifully put.
Yeah.
It's a journey of self-discovery that never really ends.
That's so true. And on that note, we'll leave you to ponder your own cosmic cocktail.
Yes.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into the fascinating world of astrology. Keep learning and keep embracing all those like fascinating contradictions that make us who we are.